Maybe separate for a second and do your thing. Go all the way down. Go all the way down, but if you want to go as I think
Well, that was a long time ago. Yes, two family across the street. Another building.
Well, how don't you move to the end of the table here?
You think I should?
I think you should.
Okay. I'm not running away, I'm providing more space.
Hey everyone, look up, smile. Good. 1, 2,
You want another one?
3.
You want more? There's one more up.
Ladies.
My God.
Whoa. Okay, I've moved your camera. Whoops. Hey. Yeah, we're doing good, right? We're there.
So ladies, do you know that one of our councilwomen is a lifetime Girl Scout member? Who? Who do you think the lifetime Girl Scout member is on the council? Who do you think, ladies? Any guesses?
Should be hard.
Who do you think? Councilwoman? Yes! 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 Councilwoman Strabeck. Very nice.
The mayor's, I think he's in his
Sit. Space down in front there,
I hear it's become a story.
Not your problem. This council meeting is called to order in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of Monday, March 6, 2023 was included in the list of meetings published in the Courier News and Star Ledger. A notice of this meeting was also placed in the bulletin, on the bulletin board of Borough Hall. A copy of this notice is available to the public, and a copy of the statement shall be included in the minutes of this meeting. Mayor Dennis Sullivan.
Here.
Council members, Granville Brady.
Here.
Tom Mitchell.
Here.
Gina Stravick.
Here.
Roger Vroom.
Here.
Fred Weed is excused this evening. Randy Pitts.
Here. We're honored to have Girl Scout Cadet Troop 61144. Did I get that right, girls? Good. Here for our flag salute tonight. And I would ask the leaders and all the girls to please stand and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing when you are done. Let's have the cadet troops themselves come up front.
These are all the troops. You want everyone to come up?
No, just the cadet troop is going to lead it, yeah?
Yeah, well, all the girls are going to say it.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The reason I asked you to remain standing is that sometimes when we have a public meeting, we recognize people from our community that contributed a lot during their lifetime and unfortunately have passed away, mostly at an older age. And tonight we have two women who contributed a lot to Somerville, First woman is Patricia McCormick. She's the wife of Ken McCormick, who has owned and operated the Somerville Hotel for many, many years. She was active in the community, active in all kinds of organizations over the years. She just passed away this past weekend at the age of 80. And the second woman I'd like to honor is Mrs. Marjorie Wright. Mrs. Wright lived for many, many years on Davenport Street, not too far from the high school. And for many, many years, she was a volunteer on the election board. She would be one of the women who would sit at the election table when people came in to vote. She would check their credentials to make sure they were the right person, that they were allowed to vote. And Miss Wright passed away, and I believe she was 90 years old. So we have two great ladies who served our community very well. We'd like to honor them with a moment of silence. Mrs. Patricia McCormick and Mrs. Marjorie Wright. Moment of silence for both. Thank you. You may be seated. It's so nice to have standing room only in our meeting. Most times, since we are on YouTube now and on technology, we don't get too many visitors to come in person. They rather sit home and watch us. So I welcome all of the scouts tonight. How many of you have ever been to a public meeting, borough council, school board, any kind of public meeting? One or two. Well, again, welcome tonight. You're working on a badge. Is it the community badge? Let's have one representative say why they're here in addition to the flag salute. I'll volunteer the young lady in the back.
Is it you, Sienna? I don't know.
She gets an honesty badge.
Do you remember?
There we have a volunteer. Very good.
We are here for the flag ceremony.
Okay, and for anything else?
Did y'all remember it was Girl Scout Week coming up?
Wow. Have I got a surprise for you? These are proclamations. Proclamations are big, long, grown-up words recognizing a special person or a special group or a special event that happens throughout the year in Somerville. And I have tonight, from the Office of the Mayor, a proclamation recognizing Girl Scout Week, March 12th through March 18th of 2023. Listen carefully, you might learn something about the history of Girl Scouts. Whereas in 1911, while living in the United Kingdom, Juliet Gordon Lowe met with the founder of Scouting, Robert Baden-Powell. From this meeting, Lowe developed the idea to create a girls-only organization that brings girls out of their homes to the great outdoors to serve their communities and provide a platform for them to develop self-reliance and resourcefulness. Upon arriving in the United States, Lowe began planning to start Girl Scouting. And whereas on March 12, 1912, Lowe gathered 18 girls and organized the first Girl Scout troop meeting in Savannah, Georgia. That officially led to the founding of the organization. Later that year, Lowe tried to merge the Girl Scout Guides with the Campfire Girls, but the organization rejected her proposal because Campfire was the larger group. She made the same attempt with Girl Scouts of America, but the founder, Clara Lister Lane, believed Lowe copied her organization and threatened her with a lawsuit. Girl Scouts of America eventually shut down as it lacked financial resources. They had no money. Whereas in 1913, the organization's name was changed to Girl Scouts of the United States and became headquartered in Washington, D.C. After being incorporated in 1915, the Girl Scouts of the United States moved its national headquarters to New York City. In 1916, Lowe created the Aviation Badge, which served to encourage girls to break barriers. From 18 girls in 1912, Girl Scouts of the United States grew to 200,000 girls by the year 1930. And whereas in 1941, the Girl Scouts established the Wing Scout program for senior Girl Scout members interested in flying and serving their country. Unfortunately, the program ended in 1970 when United Airlines, the major sponsor of the program, suffered financial setbacks. The organization finally changed its name to Girl Scouts of the United States of America in 1947, and on March 16, 1950, it received a congressional charter. There are currently 2.5 million Girl Scouts, 1.7 million Girl Scout members, and 750,000 adult members in the United States. Now therefore be resolved that I, Dennis Sullivan, Mayor of the Borough of Somerville, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, join with the Somerville Borough Council and hereby proclaim Girl Scout Week, March 12th, March 18th, 2023. Girl Scouts, you are one of 2.5 million Girl Scouts. Give yourselves a big hand. You display that proudly. If you want to make copies for each scout, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
How many of you got homework tonight? No. I used to teach fourth grade. I know how important homework is. So you are. I'll take 3 questions and then I will dismiss you to go home if you promise to do your homework. Question 1.
It's not really a question. My sister's in 4th grade.
Excellent. Best grade in the world.
I'm in 4th grade.
You're in 4th grade. Very good.
I already did my homework.
Excellent.
None of them are even short.
All right. You are welcome to come anytime, troop leaders, if you'd like me or members of the council to attend, a meeting of your organization. We'd love to do it. Yes?
Mayor, could you just say a little bit about what a mayor does and what the borough council does a little bit?
Myself
Just a little bit.
And the 7 people here, we have 1 council person absent today. Councilman Brady, he handles all the money. So if your parents' taxes are too high, you can have them call. Thank you, Your Honor. Councilwoman Stravik is in charge of all the workers that work for the town. Police, fire, public works, garbage, sewers. That's one of her jobs. Councilman Pitts, in the middle, is our police commissioner. He's in charge of making sure that our police department has the men, the equipment, and the tools that they need to keep us all safe. Councilman Groom is our fire commissioner. He's in charge of the fire department to make sure that we're well protected and well served. And Councilman Mitchell on the end is in charge of public property, the building like the library, this building, Borough Hall. And Councilman Weed, who's absent tonight, is in charge of public works. He's in charge of plowing snow, fixing potholes, and jobs like that on our roads. Each of us gets our position by the voters. We don't just go into Borough Hall and say, I want to be the mayor. It doesn't work that way. You have to go and stand for election. You see the election signs going up usually in October for the upcoming election. And we are chosen by the adults, anyone over 18. So when you girls turn 18, you need to register to vote. So you will have a say as to who runs your town. And each year, 2 of the people at the table are up for re-election. So we either have new people or the same people get elected each November. That's the 2nd Tuesday of November. So you'll see a lot of signs going up after Labor Day with people's names on them, and that's looking for support so that if we have the job and we want to keep it, we have to be re-elected. We have to earn it.
Can you step a little this way?
This way.
No, this way.
This way.
I can in the camera.
Oh, on the camera. I don't need to be on that. So that's how we get our job. And it is a part-time job. We don't go in every day like you go to school at 8:30 and come home at 3. There are some days where I don't go to Borough Hall at all. There are some days I go early and stay late. Depends on what happens when my mayor's cell phone rings. If my mayor's cell phone doesn't ring and there are no problems and Mr. Sluka, my administrator, doesn't need me, I can have a nice quiet day to read or do what I like to do. But there are days when we're all busy because we've got 12,000 people that live in our town and they depend on us to have a good, safe, clean town. And we depend on you too with the various projects that you do throughout the town to help us. So You can help us do our job better. Anytime that you need help from the town, you call Mr. Sluka at Borough Hall, and he'll get in touch with the right person. And again, I'd love to see you come back, and I want to see you all marching on Sunday at 1:30, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice warm day, I promise.
Good.
If not, I'll blame my council president, Mr. Pitts. Yes.
So I believe that one of the steps in the badge is to get a picture with the entire council. So can we do that?
Maybe our scouts can stand.
Scout stand.
Why don't we stand in the why don't we just stand amongst them? It's easy to move 7 adults than to move 30.
Perfect.
That's the old teacher thing. Slide
You go straight down the middle.
I sure wouldn't want to trip over this camera.
Are you done, Annie?
All right, everyone say Girl Scouts.
Great. Thank you. Smile.
Get another one.
I see some great smiles. Perfect. Oh, yes, we checked this off.
Excellent. Well done, girls. And thank you, Gina. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council people. All right.
Great. Thank you.
Watch the cable. No.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you having
That was a good time.
and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe I can do it.
Thank you, man. That was lovely. Really appreciate it. Yeah. I've done your card. I met you at Leadership Somerville. Are you staying for the meeting, girls? Are you staying for the rest of the meeting?
You remember?
That's okay, you can
Yeah, it's great. Thank you. I'll get them soon with you. More than we needed to know.
The energy of youth, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's a good experience.
It's not like it's a France.
No, over here.
All right,
The open session will go over.
yeah, we're up to approval of minutes from February 21.
So moved. Second.
Council members, Granville Brady.
Yes.
Al Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Departmental reports and notices are as listed. Committee reports. Start with Mr. Mitchell.
Okay. I just have one here. Thursday is National Slam the Scam Day at Social Security. Recognize the 4 basic signs of a scam. Number 1, scammers pretend to be from a familiar organization or agency like the Social Security Administration. They may email attachments with official-looking logos, seals, signatures, or pictures of employee credentials. Number 2, scammers mention a problem or a prize. They may say your social security number was involved in a crime or ask for personal information to process a benefit increase. Scammers pressure you to act immediately. They may threaten you with arrest or legal action. And number 4, scammers tell you to pay using a gift card, prepaid debit card, cryptocurrency, wire or money transfer, or by mailing cash. Don't do any of those things. They may also tell you to transfer your money to a safe account. Ignore scammers and report criminal behavior. Visit www.ssa.gov/scam for more information. That's it.
Thank you. Kevin, could we post that on our website?
Sure.
I know I've received a few of those in the past. Your number's been compromised. Can you repeat it so that we're sure we have it right? And you get caught off guard, and you're trusting, and all of a sudden it's too late. So let's get that out. Thank you. Mr. Borough.
I have nothing to say.
Dr. Brady.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. We plan to introduce our budget in April, and there won't be any surprises as we are going to keep our commitment to keep taxes stable, at least local taxes. One feature of the budget presentation will be an examination of how pilot revenue has stabilized the local tax base and how future pilot income is going to help us pay for some of the improvements we're committed to. So it should be an entertaining evening, at least to me it's an entertaining evening, and we'll show you that Somerville remains a vibrant community and continues to move forward. And that's all I have,
That's
Your
the
Honor.
first meeting in April for introduction.
Hopefully.
We hope to pass the budget May 1st. Okay.
Yes, we
Excellent.
have to now introduce and we'll go through the process.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Strong.
The Environmental Commission submitted their Sustainable New Jersey application last weekend, so they worked hard to get that together, and we'll have a review period until May, and then we'll find out what we have to rewrite or update or extend. But they submitted, and they have enough points again for, well, if they're accepted for the silver award, so silver level. So hopefully we're in a good shape, I think. The other reminder I have from them is April 22nd is our Earth Day celebration, cleanup day, green fair, so mark your calendars.
That's 9 a.m. at the high school.
Correct.
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. President.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no reports.
Okay, I have just a few. As I mentioned at our last meeting, we received confirmation from the DOT that the mid-block crosswalk across from the Immaculate Conception parking lot has been approved. And Kevin, we have to submit any comments on the final design. I believe that's what they were looking for.
Sure.
So we'll take care of that. And then this past week, we had two very positive pieces of correspondence. Commissioner of DOT has signed off on the 25-mile-per-hour speed reduction for the entire length of Route 28 from Rehill Avenue all the way to Cornell Boulevard. I'm just waiting now for the signs to go up, and we plan on having a Drive 25 campaign to alert people to the fact that all roads in Somerville will be now 25 miles per hour. In conjunction with that, I had a conversation with the county administrator from Somerset County the other day. The county commissioners will be introducing an ordinance to reduce the speed limit on their county road, which I believe is 642. It's East Main Street from Adamsville Road to Gaston Avenue, and from, I guess, Mountain Avenue to Somerset Street at the other end. So when those signs go up and that ordinance is passed, every street in town will be now posted 25. So we will be in the process of getting that signage done once the legislation has been, signed off officially from the state and the county. And I've been in touch with Patty Hunt, our communications director, and with RideWise, the nonprofit organization, to help us develop an awareness program with some catchy slogans, attractive signs, and just the idea that every street in town is 25. So we'll be open to any kind of creative suggestions that you might have. Working through Kevin's office, I talked to Patty this morning and I said, "How about you're in town? Slow down." She seemed to like that, but that's one start. And, we just want people to know that we're serious about, the speed limit being uniform. So whatever street you're on, you shouldn't have to look at the sign. You should just know that you're in town, it's 25 or less. And we hope to have that implemented, by late spring and certainly for the summer when our school kids will be out and about more frequently than they are now. So if you have any input, you can talk to Kevin, Randy can talk to the chief and patrol division about suggestions they might have to get the word out as well. Nothing creates more awareness than a speeding ticket, but we'd rather have compliance. But if we have to enforce, we will. And that's all I have. All right. We have CDBG. If you're here for the Raritan Valley Habitat application, that is, the venue on that has been changed. Since their corporate offices are in Bedminster, they have to appear before the Bedminster Town Council. And Kevin spoke with them today to make sure they knew that that would be the proper venue, because the requirement of an application of that nature is that they be heard before the governing body, then the mayor signs off.
Apparently, some of the parents are being parked in by the bank. You guys aren't parked by the bank, right?
No, I parked on the street.
It's probably the School of Rock.
I'm gonna go check on that. I'll be right back.
Probably the School of Rock. So if you're here for that one, you have to call the Bedminster Township Council for the hearing on that one. Our second CDB application is for alternatives. Group home at 8587 Fairview Avenue, Block 48, Lot 8. Kevin, you have a summary of their project?
Yes, they're looking to improve, their project scope is their rear exterior deck. I sent it out, it's 7 foot by 24 foot deck that they're looking to replace. Their projected cost is about $30,000. I would assume with their fees, they're probably applying for a little higher than that. But that's the extent of their project. It's a nonprofit agency that's looking to.
It's probably the original deck, because I remember when that house was transformed over to two alternatives. I was on the advisory board many years ago when I was on staff in the schools. So it could very well be the original decking probably from the late 70s. So I'm sure it's well needed and well used. All right, we have to have a public hearing on that, so I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Hal Mitchell,
Yes.
Tina Stravic,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
All right, is there anyone from the public here to comment on the alternatives community development block grant application?
I'm from Alternatives.
The floor is yours. Introduce yourself, name and address, and just give us a summary and we'll move forward.
Hi, good evening. My name is Talia Johnson. I'm from Alternatives. My position there is Director of Housing. I provided the project details to Mrs. Suga. So at this property that you mentioned, I believe the deck in the back is original to the property. So we were looking to renovate from wood to a weatherproof composite material. That way it's longer lasting and less maintenance. We've tried to sand and repaint and all that, but it's just beyond normal maintenance at this point. And we would like to expand the deck so to give more space for the clients to enjoy while they're outside in the back, and then also to extend the patio that's underneath the deck so that they can sit there as well. Because right now we have gravel, so just to give them an extension of the space in the back to enjoy. Because it is a nice quiet block, and to sit outside they have like a swing bench and stuff like that. So we just want to continue to improve on the home and make it enjoyable for the clients and for their family members when they come and visit. They have entertaining space as well to visit their loved ones.
No. Kevin, they will, if they get the funding and they go ahead with the project, they have to submit the appropriate paperwork to the community, to the construction office upstairs, correct?
Yeah, so I saw your project cost at $30,000. What is the application for, do you know?
For Somerset County, it's $150,000, and you can only submit 3 projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but for this project, it's 30, so I assume you have additional costs. You have some design costs and permitting costs and things of that.
We feel as though from the estimate that we received that should be the cost.
Okay.
Yeah,
How many clients do you have?
there's 4 at that group home.
So I assume that 30,000 would cover engineering and architectural fees,
Yes,
because if you were a homeowner, that would not be required. You don't have to do it if it's a single-family house, but because you were not a single-family house, you would have to have those kinds of things done. Because I was looking at the cost, I see 30,000, I put it back in for less than that, but I realize now that you'd have to go through a much different level of requirement for what you're doing, so.
right, we would definitely adhere to all applicable construction codes when it comes to
Right.
completing this project.
Well, I wish you luck with it, and I'd love to be there, and we have
Awesome.
big scissors, we can
Okay,
put a ribbon
great.
up.
We
can
would
cut
love
it,
that.
And, wish you luck. There's documents for me to sign?
You have that, it's in here. It's in
Oh, Okay. So that'll be filed, and then we can proceed.
Correct, yeah, so.
Any more public comment? All right, motion to close public.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
All right, public hearing is done, so I will
Thank you.
Thank you.
sign this, and you will be able to take it, I guess, with you.
No, she'll pick it up tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Yeah, or with the, you still have another couple
All
weeks
right,
before that.
I do.
I'll fill it out after the meeting, so I make sure I do it right.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't have any whiteout with me.
I-
Excellent, well, good luck with it.
thank you so much.
Great program. Great.
Have a good evening,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night.
All right, we have a series of ordinances for introduction only. First one is 2698. Typical ordinance this time of year in light of the budget introduction coming up. An ordinance to exceed the 2023 municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. And have a motion for introduction.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Second ordinance for introduction, 2699, amending chapter 124-6 entitled Solicitors and Canvassers, Section 5, License Fees, No Transfer of License. Motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 2700, amending chapter 150, Streets and Sidewalks, Article 1 entitled Excavations. Motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
And the last ordinance for introduction, 2701, repealing chapter 82 of the Borough Code entitled Floodplains and Flood Hazard Area, and creating chapter 102, section 121, to designate a floodplain administrator and providing for severability and an effective date. Motion for introduction.
So moved. Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Kevin, will these four be ready for public hearing at our next meeting?
The 2701 has to get submitted to DEP for review, so I'm not sure that will be on the next meeting.
Could we also make sure the environmental commission gets it to look at?
Yeah, it's an extremely large ordinance, and there's only 2 templates that you could adopt. So we've had it reviewed by our engineers to make sure that we're actually in the correct template. The DEP put this out last year.
It's in here anyway, so
It is.
if you want to take it and totally make copies and then
So
give it to everybody.
if we have-
I have an electronic
If
format.
there's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty complex and,
Yeah, that is.
it's pretty complex.
All right, good. All right, we have a series of ordinances for public hearing and adoption, and we'll take each of those separately. First one, 2694, an ordinance granting consent and permission to New Jersey American Water to furnish wastewater collection and conveyance service in the borough of Somerville, New Jersey. I need a motion to open the
So
public
moved.
hearing.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Public hearing. If you have questions or comments on this ordinance, you may come to the mic. Okay, hearing none, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Gina Stravic.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
All right, next ordinance, 2695,
That was
amending.
that was the close.
Oh, that was the close, I'm sorry. Motion for adoption, thank
So
you.
moved.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
All right, now, our next ordinance for adoption, 2695, amending the redevelopment plan for the Kirby Avenue redevelopment area, Block 50, Lot 2, 50 James Street, and 201, 82 Fairview Ave, pursuant to NJSA 40A:12A-1 et sec. I need a motion to open the public
So
hearing.
moved.
Second?
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Public hearing, comment on this ordinance. Hearing none, motion to close.
So moved.
Second?
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
All right, our next ordinance for hearing, 2696, accepting the grant of an amended and restated confirmatory easement for borough utilities on private property at 50 Kirby Avenue, Block 1, Lot 4-01, for the construction of improvements by the property owner within the easement to facilitate the residential development project on the property located in the Kirby Avenue redevelopment area. Motion for public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Public hearing on this ordinance. Hearing none, motion to close.
So moved.
Second?
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic, Roger
Yes.
Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
All right, motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Final ordinance for hearing, 2697, adding chapter 103 to the borough's administrative code entitled lead-based paint inspections. Motion to open public hearing.
So moved?
Second.
Council
I have
members,
some comments.
there was a second, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Council members Granville Brady,
Oh,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Public comment on this ordinance. Motion to close public hearing.
So moved?
Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Motion for adoption.
So moved?
Second.
Yeah, now.
Yes, now you may have your question.
Now I
Thank you.
had questions and comment on here. First of all, this is a state law that is being implemented here. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
So we have no option.
You have no option but to adopt the law. You have an option as to how you proceed and the cost involved in that.
Yeah. Basically what this does is it gives us the right to do the inspections instead of forcing the landlords to contract the inspections out, which they still have the right to do.
The landlord is responsible for getting the inspection done. If he or she fails to do that, they can ask the municipality to do that, and the municipality has now contracted with Bay Hill Engineering to do that.
Yeah. Well, how soon do these inspections, does this go into effect? How soon do the landlords have to start getting these inspections?
It's in effect. It's in effect. So over the next several years, all these inspections have to be done.
Oh,
So it's in effect. I mean, there's actually been some landlords that have called us already and said, I'm getting a tenant, what do I need to do? Because, people have heard it. It didn't receive a lot of fanfare, but it's actually, the law's in effect already.
Well, if this is something that people are going to be facing penalties for non-compliance, we ought to make sure that the community knows and understands what this requirement is.
Well, that's a good point, Tom. And the other question I have is this just based on honesty? Like, how do we know when they're changing tenants and have to get the inspection done?
So, if they don't do it during a change of tenancy, it's still going to get picked up by us at the 3-year mark. So what happens is there's really I supplied you guys a flow chart, and for the best I could put together. What happens is if you go through the process and you have a lead safe unit, you don't have to do anything after that. Lead free unit, you don't have to do anything. However, if you don't, you have to go through the process of making sure that you don't have lead. So what will happen is they're supposed to notify us when they're changing tenants. And, you know, in most cases, they will. If they fail to notify us, it still has a cycle. So we would pick it up in that cycle. So it has to be done every 3 years anyway. So that's, you know, so what happens is you know, the state could have made it a little easier for everybody by fixing all the dates very easily, but unfortunately, the law got passed without a lot of change. It was a reactionary law to lead.
So what's the 3-year cycle?
So what we have to perform, every unit has to be re-inspected every 3 years.
Even if the same
Regardless of change of tenancy.
I have a question. If you're inspected and everything's fine, then you don't have to go like another 3 years, do you?
You do. So what happens is, so if it has no, there's no detection of any lead whatsoever, and they were able to prove that, you know, there were certain requirements that it was built after a certain date, after 1978. If it already has been inspected by the DCA, so there's certain exemptions. If they're outside of those exemptions, they do have to be inspected. So, I mean, visualize this, is lead is usually found in paint on the windows, right? So they're gonna, people are going to lift their windows and close the windows. So what happens is we're going to be doing an inspection. Bayhill will be doing the inspection for us. They'll determine that it doesn't possess lead at this particular time, right? So they'll give them a certification. They'll continue to use those windows over the next 3 years. They'll go up and down, there'll be friction, they'll create lead dust, right? So that's the theory behind that. So if 3 years we come in and there's lead there, they have to remediate that.
So this is only a paint test because there is lead in tile that comes from out of country too.
It's a dust, they call it a swipe test. So it's basically, they swipe the apartment for dust.
So it would not detect.
Paint is the main source of lead in residential buildings now.
In the event that something was compromised, just like we know with asbestos, when we speak about friable, it would be the same thing, I would imagine. If something that's under traction causes dust and creates dust, then that would pick up on that test as well.
So that the homeowners, you know, there's a lot for the homeowners to be penalized for, the property owners to be penalized for, because there are other inspections they may have to do, and other, you know, they have to, in some cases, we have landlord tenancy requirements, right? So we have to, when we have change of occupancy, those things will all show up. So while this is a task, and we do have a software company statewide that's working on how to manage this a little better, that's usually, that software is in most municipalities. So that is in the process. But in the meantime, it's going to be done internally to manage it.
So does that also mean like this isn't just 2-family homes? This is like every apartment in Brookside is going to have this?
They would. You're specifically naming a place that already has DCA inspections on it.
Okay.
But for instance, if there was a development like that, they would, you know, because it was built before 1978, and they
I
were.
think if these are mostly small 2-family houses that we have a lot of in town that are older. Apartment complexes, I think, would probably be up to speed on this, wouldn't they?
They're also expected, the large 4 units and more are inspected by DCA.
4 units or more, okay.
3.
So the larger apartment complexes are covered.
Not our problem.
One of the restrictions is one of the exemptions is multiple rental dwelling units that have been registered with the DCA for the past 10 years and have no outstanding paint violations within its last cyclical inspection. So, you know, so while I don't particularly know the numbers that will be inspected, but the way it's expected to work, there are some municipalities around us that are using the same company. So what's expected to work is the property owner is supposed to call us, schedule the inspection. We'll work with Bay Hill Engineering, who has the contract for this year. The landlord will have to pay us, there's a fee involved. They'll pay us the cost of the inspection, they'll pay us the cost of the administration fee. The state of New Jersey also tacked on a $20 fee that goes to them. So those all have to be collected, the $20 fees for lead education, lead awareness, things like that. So we have to send that to the state. So I mean, those are the fees involved. So I did provide the PowerPoint with my staff as well and go through that. So we think we have it set up operationally to work. You know, a lot of the municipalities are in the process or haven't started the process yet. However, the law is in effect.
I guess we'll find out when the first inspection request comes through, how it works.
That's very good, because I have to say, this is one of those nightmares that the state imposes upon a municipality with no guidance whatsoever, basically. And this is, again, another example of what Trenton has been doing to us. I think, Kevin, this is great. You have it under control as much as possible, and we just have to go through the operation, that's all. So I would say Kevin is really the hero in getting the lead out. Certainly certainly the people in Trenton, there's so much lead there, you'll never get it out.
If a property is deemed lead free, what happens is it has to be deemed by an evaluator that's approved by the DCA. So that's going to be a little of the issue too. Now, granted, you know, Philadelphia's been doing this for years, and so have some other states. So the firm that we're actually using does work in Philadelphia, so they have a grasp of how the mechanics kind of work. But if someone just pops open a store and we're going to test your lead, that's going to be the problem. That's where we're going to have to educate the landlord that they have to get someone that's approved by the DCA.
Kevin, would it be helpful if we have a meeting with a light agenda, not that we know that we'll have one of those, to have this consulting firm come in and just do a quick, 10, 15-minute tutorial?
We could, yes. I mean, honestly,
I don't think there are as many units in town that are affected by this.
I could have them do a video, which might be more beneficial.
We could post that, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of old homes in town.
Yeah.
There's a lot of two-family houses.
But if the windows have been replaced and the sashes and the sills are done.
Massachusetts has been doing almost this identical law for decades
any
now,
kind of
and
information,
it affects very few.
Any kind of information we can provide is going to keep your phone from jumping off the hook.
This is more of a project that's going to be labor intensive on the part of the company we hire, but not necessarily finding a lot of positives, I suspect. And that's the whole idea.
I mean, it's been a big problem, I know, in the cities. It's been a big health issue, so, I mean.
We are in the criteria, so what happens is that each municipality got put in a criteria based on the number of reports of children with lead. We're in the lowest category. So that's obviously, that's not only a positive from the health side, but it sounds like a positive, like Jeremy's saying, we probably don't have as big of a problem as some other places do.
Yeah. But again, talk to the consultant, see if there's any education stuff. We can pump it out, and that way it'll save you from having to answer the same question, 100 times.
Yeah, the only problem with this, the state has been after us and all the other towns for holding down the cost of making housing more affordable, and yet they keep passing regulations that add to the costs that landlords have to pass on to their tenants.
Well, I mean, there's an option. You could certainly make sure your unit's lead free, and then you don't have to do this ever again. Right?
Which is costly.
Which is costly, absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got to provide healthy housing, not just housing.
Yeah, how much more costly is it if you're poisoning the tenants in the units, right?
All right.
There's a pending vote.
Yes.
Yeah, I call the question.
Thank you. Read my mind.
Council, are you ready for that?
Yes.
Council members Granville Brady?
Yes.
Tom Mitchell?
Yes.
Gina Stravic?
Yes.
Roger Vroom?
Yes.
Randy Pitts?
Yes. All right. This is our public session. I need a motion to open.
So moved. Second.
Council members Granville Brady?
Yes.
Tom Mitchell?
Yes.
Gina Stravic?
Yes.
Roger Vroom?
Yes.
Randy Pitts?
Yes. Public portion is open. Hearing none. Motion to close.
So moved. Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yeah.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
All right, we have a series of consent resolutions. Are there any that council would like pulled for individual discussion? Hearing none. I'll summarize each one. 094, awarding a 2-year contract to One Total Cleaning Services for janitorial maintenance. 095, approving Somerset County Library System to use the lawn at Borough Hall on August 4th, 2023 for a Chalk on the Walk program. I believe that's a repeat from the program in the past. 096, appointing Vincent A. Gumenich Jr. to the Somerset Raritan Valley Sewage Authority Board of Commissioners, expiration term February 7, 2028. 097, canceling sewer capital ordinances. 098, adding 106 Veterans Memorial Drive East, Block 58, Lot 25 to the tax records. 099, approving fees for lead-based paint inspection. 100, accepting the resignation of Kevin Gann effective March 1st, 2023, end of business February 28, 2023. 101, amending Resolution 22-1219-374, authorizing the purchase of a steel gable shelter for the community park. State co-op in the amount of $30,695. 102, approving the hiring of Jenna LaRussa as Administrative Assistant Planning Board and Zoning Board Secretary. 103, affirming the 2023 New Jersey Urban and Community Forestry Program Annual Accomplishment Report shared with Mayor and Borough Council. I have a motion for those resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
Bills and vouchers?
Sounds good to me. I move the payment of bills and vouchers in the total of $679,457.32.
Second.
Council members Granville Brady,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yeah.
Gina Stravic,
Yes.
Roger Vroom,
Yes.
Randy Pitts.
Yes.
All right, before I call for adjournment, just a reminder to the public watching, our St. Patrick's Day Parade kicks off Sunday, the 12th, 1:30. The staging area will be approximately in the courthouse area. We'll proceed west, hopefully into a very light wind with mild temperatures. I'll do my best within my limited mayoral powers to guarantee a good weather day. It's a great way to start the spring season. And I look forward to all the participants, clowns and bands, and just people out having fun. You're all welcome to come.
I don't speak for the clowns.
Tell
What
us.
time do we have to be there? 1 o'clock?
1:10. Depends on the wind chill.
Oh,
If
yeah,
the
right.
wind chill is 30 or below, you get there 1:29. But invite the public to come out. It's a great kickoff. It hasn't been a bad winter, and it's just a great way to usher in spring with fun festivities. Mr. Mitchell, bring us in.
Yeah, move for adjournment, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes, we only went 10 minutes over.